Okay, so what I'm going to do first is share some general information about what this all is, who Eleftheria and myself are, and why we're doing this. So let's start with the what. We're launching a series of conversations that are dedicated to women empowerment, feminine aspect, feminine principle in the modern world. And our intention is to create a safe space for deep conversations to emerge and move beyond the surface level of empowerment to really examine the systemic structures that hold women back while reclaiming the feminine principle as just the source of power. And while we do that, we want to offer the tools to break through the structural barriers. So we would talk about today's patriarchic society, misogyny, highlighting this dysfunction for women, and then offering also how to break this glass ceiling. And we're going to share the examples and real life stories of women of all walks of life. And that's basically the storytelling is the exact application of the feminine principle. Because women throughout the history have held women's circles and share this healing stories with each other, helped each other in that safe space. And that is what Eleftheria and I wanted to bring forward to our listeners to experience and involve. Okay, so who are we? Eleftheria Kakamburas is an international accredited facilitator, and her company Terajiva is an IICT accredited training provider. She's a transformation coach and facilitator trainer specializing in relational intelligence. She's born in South Africa and now residing in Slovenia. Eleftheria is an alumna of the Sherry Blair Foundation Mentorship Program. She created Root to Rise program to support women on their heroine journeys. She serves as AEIOU coach, especially in their breakthrough program for female leaders and their executive programs, where she empowers leaders to navigate through the VUCA world with heart, with courage, and regenerative mindset. So she's going to take the role of a coach in this conversation. She's going to share her wisdom and experience across each topic that we touch. And from her professional, from it was actually us working together that I've experienced her as a coach, and I've seen firsthand how deeply transformative her coaching is. Uplifting, inspiring, and rich in practical tools that drive meaningful change. And her approach integrates unique techniques on multiple layers: rational, emotional, and energetic. And that is allowing real embodied change to take place. Throughout our sessions, we will explore these tools together and bring to life through examples of real women. Eleftheria is also at the heart of a growing international community of women who meet regularly to connect, to support, and uplift each other. Eleftheria, is there anything that you would like to add or change to that?
I'm grateful for the opportunity for us to share this connection and relational intelligence together. And I'm just really honored and grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Myself, I'm an in-house software lawyer that's focused on digital regulation, AI governance, and AI compliance. I'm passionate, obviously, about the emerging technologies. And for the past couple of years, I've been actively helping to shape policies and regulations around responsible use of AI. More importantly, I'm a corporate woman, which is why you'll be seeing me bring in the corporate or the work context in our conversations a lot. And I'm deeply interested in the superpowers of women, especially how, in these historic times, how to bring feminine aspects forward. I'm a change maker at heart. I've gone through many transformations and have been many women, many versions of myself. And at this time, it feels like I'm integrating them all into who I am today. I'm also a mother, and I feel this huge responsibility to help shape better society, to correct this narrative that we tell young boys and girls. I've shed the good girl identity, and I'm ready to use my voice in a more powerful and authentic way so that I can serve the purpose that I mentioned. That, dismantle the narrative that disempowers women in the society. I'm also very tired of playing small, so I'm super curious of what I can learn from you today, Eleftheria, and happy to serve as a moderator for this conversation. So last thing is the why. Why is it, Eleftheria, that we're doing this? Right. And since I'm a lawyer by profession, I'm also fluent in disclaimer language. Right. So here's a disclaimer for everyone. It's not going to be perfect. We're just starting this for the first time without massive experience. We don't have a team yet. We don't have the perfect platform. We don't have the video editor to do the cuts. We even don't have a name yet for the podcast at this point. So it's actually going to be perfectly imperfect. And we wanted to be upfront with this. But what we do have is a conviction that these conversations matter. They're not final solutions yet, but there are places to dig. And digging is how the change starts. Not with polished, structured, and certainty and perfection, but with courage to speak and to listen and to begin even before everything is perfect. So this is where we start. This is where we stop with the housekeeping and dive into the content finally. And let me just maybe frame today's topic, which is about the heroine journey. There's a lot to unpack beneath the surface, but let's start at the beginning. And so the heroine journey is not as widely known as the male principle, the hero's journey, which is a concept that was developed by Joseph Campbell that describes this common pattern that you can find across myths, across stories, across religions, where a protagonist undergoes transformation through challenges and return. So the core idea is having a hero that leaves the ordinary world, faces trials and transformation, and returns changed, bringing insight and value to others. Which brings us to, what is the feminine version of it? Because that sort of hero's journey has long served as the archetypal template for men's development. But the question of today's session is what happens if the hero is a woman? Do we apply the same phases? I'm pretty sure our female listeners often find themselves in the midst of that journey. Is it any different from the hero journey? Maybe just start with that, and then we'll go into what the feminine principle is. And Eleftheria, before you begin, so to paint the story right, for the listeners. Like, imagine you have a performing woman in front of you in a corporate role. On paper, she has everything. She has the title, she has the salary, she has the recognition, but inside, she's really exhausted. She feels like she has to constantly perform and push and to be on all the time and fit with that linear, aggressive, always on culture. And at some point, she realizes that she's lost touch with herself. And she doesn't even know what she feels or want anymore. So that is, for many of us, the beginning of that journey. And that is, rather than the conquering of the world story, this is an inner journey back to ourselves. And that's what we call the heroine journey, right? So with that said, can you talk a little bit, Eleftheria, about, this heroine journey? What is the feminine principle of that? How is it when the hero is a woman?